Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and see you again in our literal reading class. And our topic today is building vocabulary through context and structures. Today we will learn how to use context effectively to determine the meaning of unknown words, and we also learn the meanings of most common word part that use prefix, root, and suffixes, and we also learn how to transfer knowledge from word part to unknown words, and the last one, use mnemonics, that's the memory devices to retain the word meaning. Okay, we come to the strategy for using context. Before we come to the strategy, it's better to know what is context. Context is the writing that surrounding a word. This writing can be a phrase, a sentence, or sometimes even a paragraph. Jadi konteks itu writing, tulisan yang surrounding, yang ada di seputaran kata tadi. Dan that can be tulisan atau konteksnya itu can be a phrase, a sentence, or sometimes paragraph. Nah, context can be divided into two. That is yang pertama ada semantic clues that provide a meaning information about unknown words. Jadi kalau dia related to semantic clue atau semantic context, yaitu yang berisi informasi tentang meaning. Sedangkan the second one we have that syntactic clue that provide grammatical information about unknown words, whether it is a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. Jadi syntactic itu menurut syntax. Okay, here I have the example, sentence example here. The flood was calamitous event and resulted the loss of many lives. So calamitous is, we say that from syntactic clue, calamitous is an adjective and resulted in the loss of many lives. This is a semantic. So based on the context here, we say that calamitous has something to do with major misfortune. Di sini ada penjelasannya, resulted in the loss of many lives. Okay, we come to kinds of context clues. Jadi tipe-tipe dari context clues kita hari ini ada definition, contrast, summary, and example. We come to the first of context clues, yaitu definition. Definition biasa juga disebut dengan direct explanation. Apakah itu? Explanation or direct explanation. This is the easy clue that spot and most common use in context clues. Jadi definition itu adalah clue yang paling easy, yang paling mudah, and this is common use in context clues. Biasanya, it is usually written by giving synonym or similar meaning of unknown words. Jadi, definition ini dia biasanya ditulis dalam bentuk synonym atau similar meaningnya. Nah, signal words yang digunakan adalah that is, defined as. For example, namely, in other words, or for instance. Let's see sentence example here. In skeletal system, a foramen is an opening through a bone, serve as a passageway for blood vessel, nerves, and ligament. Jadi di sini yang di italic adalah foramen. What is foramen? Nah, di sini ada signal wordnya that is. Jadi foramen is an opening through bone. Jadi kita bisa bilang foramen is definisinya an opening through bone. That's it. Kalau dia menggunakan signal wordnya ada that is. Nah, and also in form of definition, sometimes the author didn't use any kinds of signal word. Jadi authornya tidak menggunakan signal word, tapi dia menggunakan punctuation. Apakah dia menggunakan koma atau dia menggunakan dash seperti ini, double dash. Okay, let's see. A numismatics, a collector of gold medals, needs considerable capital to get started in business. Jadi kita bisa, a numismatic itu adalah a collector of gold medals. says the example. Tapi dia nggak memakai signal word, but they use punctuation here. Okay, next we come to the second kind of context clue, that's contrast. Contrast is the writer use an opposite meaning. Jadi dia menggunakan lawan daripada meaning itu tadi, atau kita biasa sebut dia menggunakan antonym, meaning, opposite meaning. The word such as but, however, yet, or in contrast adalah signal daripada opposite meaning tadi, lawan dari tadi. Okay, sentence example here. Her sister was always is with everyone she met. Mary, however, was quite gauche in social situation. Okay, we come here. Di sini ada however. This is a signal wordnya. Okay, this is a signal of contrast. Mary, however, was quite gauche in social situation. Jadi di sini kita bisa bilang kalau her sister is at ease to everyone, berarti dia please, ease to everyone. Si mad, tapi however Mary is quite gauche in social situation, berarti dia lacking social grace. Mary is lacking social grace. Susah ya interaksi sosialnya. Okay, the next is summary. The next kinds of context clue is summary. Summary sometimes unfamiliar word is explained in summary form. Jadi dia menggunakan unfamiliar words to explain the summary in summary form. Okay, let's see the example here. There was a bitter in her voice, a scowl on her face, and then an angry reply as usual. She was in captious mood as she spoke to the children. Nah, di sini untuk menjelaskan captious, the writer used summary like this: bitter and her voice, cold on her face, dan angry reply as usual. Jadi kita bisa tebak kalau ekspresi yang seperti ini adalah quick to find a fool. The last context clue is example. Example is the author give examples that relate to a word in order to clarify it. Jadi fungsi dari example itu adalah the author memberikan example untuk mengclarify meaning dari unknown word tadi. Examples are sometimes used to point out instances, characteristic, or incident that illustrate the meaning of a word. Jadi dia digunakan untuk 2 points instances, karakter, incident. Nah, signal word yang digunakan di sini ada like, such as, for instance, for example, including, and etc. Okay, let's see sentence example here. Paula was suspended from school because of several infractions of rules, including smoking in the bedroom and dressing improperly. Jadi di sini dia unknown word kita adalah infraction, and the writers use kind of example of infraction here, including, ada signal word includingnya juga, smoking in bedroom and dressing improperly. Jadi based on the example here, smoking and dressing improperly, we say that infraction is the act of breaking rules or law. Okay, let's see here. I have a paragraph, short paragraph. I will read it for you, and then after that we find the meaning of unknown word in the bold type. Okay, let's see. Most of the word 6,000 languages will be either extinct or on the road to extinction by the end of next century, linguistic experts say. The loss is especially acute in California, which has been called the world's third most linguistic diversity region, after New Guinea and Caucasus. There are still 15 Native American languages being spoken in California, but not a single one of them is spoken by children. The vast majority are spoken by less than 10 individuals over 70 years old, said a UC Berkeley linguist at the University of California, who also said Native American languages were suppressed until 1960s. Indian children sent to boarding school were punished for speaking their parents' languages. Now, a movement exists among California Indians to learn the elders' tongue before it's too late. Michael Krause, a language researcher at University of Alaska, warned that the rate at which native tongues were dying would cause irreparable damage to human civilization. I call this catastrophe. The rate of lost mankind's linguistic diversity, he said. Between 20 and 50% of world languages are no longer being learned by children, he said. For next century, something up to 90% of mankind's languages will either become extinct or become moribund and headed toward extinction. So we have here kind of unknown word. The first is extinction. Nah, kita cari di sini. This is extinction. Maka di sini, what is extinction? The writer has used the synonym extinct, maybe extinct or on the road to extinction. Jadi extinction mean extinct. Okay, next ada linguistic. Nah, linguistic here, linguistic experts say. Linguistic might say that languages. This is related to languages, linguistic. And suppress it here. Okay, saya baca. Who also said Native American languages were suppressed until 1960s. Indians children sent to boarding school were punished for speaking their parent languages. Berarti suppresses mean force, made by force, atau kita bisa bilang di sini punish for speaking their parents' language is suppresses. Adanya sebuah punishment atau paksaan, forcing for speaking their parents' language, we say that suppresses. And then irreparable here. Okay. Michael Krause, a language researcher at the University of Alaska, warns that the rate at which native tongues were dying would cause irreparable damage. Nah, irreparable damage mean dying. Okay, next moribund. Here, kita baca. For next century, something up to 90% of mankind's languages will either become extinct or become moribund. Jadi di sini ada or. Become moribund means that extinct. Okay, I think this is our today. Jadi, before you check to dictionary, you look up to dictionary, it is better for you to say the word from the context surrounding the unfamiliar word itself. Okay, I think that's all for today and see you.